Hello, this video is about working in Projects tab. In the previous video on Planning tab, we discussed main principles of the structure of the Planning tab and principles of composing line items. Many of these rules, if you have seen the video, is applicable to Projects tab. The way around, the Project tab is a simplified version of the Planning one because, first of all, we have fewer columns to fill in. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there is no such a division of defining integration or indicating parenting items. So this is much more simple, but it will be good to repeat. But we advise before watching this video to go back and watch the planning one. It will be easier to understand how the project tab works. So let's start from the main blocks. The main block here is the project. Project means anything that is numbered and goes before a second numbered item. So you can see we have 12 projects here, and some projects occupy 2, 3 rows, some others occupy 2, this one occupies 1, but it doesn't matter. The minimum is definitely 1 row, and it can be as many as needed, and we will explain what determines the number of rows. So the key element of any unique elements, let's say, of the project is disease, function, activity. Actually, the disease and activity, and the assumption is that this project composed of polio, in this case history collection, is presumably funded at least by one donor. So if we have this, let's say WHO, that's already the project, and then we may have 2 or more supporters of this project. In this case, we have WHO UNICEF supporting this project. So if there's an activity where contribution comes from different sources, we can have one line of 3 components here, and then we can have here as many as needed sources. So no need. On contrary, it will create problems if you repeat this polio case detection in all these 3 rows. It should be just one line of 3 items, and then the tool believes that and understands that before the next activity, these cells belong to that and no need to enter them manually, right? So visually then it makes that you have this line, and then you have it sort of a layout is in outline format, and then you have 2 donors. Like here, we have World Bank, but we can add other donors, and as soon as you enter here, the tool, this is a feature of the dynamic tool, it tells you, okay, come now to the right and enter the value. As soon as you enter value, it opens the cell for currency. We have now 2 currencies registered, so we either enter Euro or USD. Blank means that the cell is empty and background is white, and every time you work there will be minimum 2 cells blank. It will be cell in disease column and cell in donor name. What does it mean? That if we want to continue adding donor names, we use blank cells in this column. So we stay activity 12, this activity, and we continue adding donors here. And you see, it can be 3 any values. It makes no sense, just for demonstration purpose, but this is actually, well, it's not a mistake, have the same donor and same, but it's better not to do so, but that's fine, but it's just confusing. But you can change currency here, and then it makes sense that, okay, it's very unusual for the same donor to pay in two currencies. But anyway, it can more justify having donor twice per project entered than with one currency. So, but if we want now to start adding a new project, again, then you go to this free cell, a blank one, and enter another disease, another function, observation, and US8. Okay, so as you can see, this sequence of working that you do this three, then you come here, and then you can go right to left, and then back to donor name, and keep this movement. So you come here, and then you make movement like this. So you go here, go here, go here, go here, like you came here, put it here. You see how I'm coloring this in yellow. So that's a sequence, the way you work. So what else is important to know is that there is a notes column. So you can explain anything here, write down in these rows. It's actually not to draw, but to write there. These are you can enter any text here, like here, and say that's A, B, C. And now you see that it was hidden in the window. There is a last column, which is unique column. And when project is created, the number goes on the left, which is 02. But this number has nothing to do with the unique one. Even if these rows are empty here, this is empty, the tool recognize them similar to the first one, and you can see here you have for this rotavirus 12 project, you have 4 codes, and in this code, now let's decipher it to understand what is actually the meaning of these numbers. Let me try to separate them. So the first 3, you see, they are similar. Why? Because this is disease code, rotavirus, and this is function code, and this is activity code. And here, under this project, these are all the same. Remember, these are let me see what is the meaning of this code. These are in rotavirus, this means case detection and medical examination. So of course these 4 cores will be the same, so will be no difference. And the only difference here are the donors. So these numbers on the after this eta, these codes, they correspond to the donors, and therefore disease, function, activity, and donor, they compose unique values. Why we need it? If you remember, and if you watched the previous video on planning tab, it shows that we use these project items here because any of them can be parent to a budget line item. So when we say integration, it means that any budget line item which was expected to be financed from VPD surveillance budget, they can be integrated in another budget line item or in any project listed here. So the way we do it, we come here, and in this column on the right, we select any parenting unit. And if you can see, this one measles, sending notification, CDC. That's where the verbal, so this is the project it borrows text from projects tab, and here this coding goes. You see this coding 10.05.01.8.01. So this coding is also used to make it easier to distinguish unique content of each line. What is more, again, important, similar to planning, in case you entered, let's say, number 10 project, diphtheria, and we have 2 donors here, and then suddenly we learn that, there is 1 more donor coming. So instead of deleting this, because there is not enough space to add between these 2, right? Instead of deleting 11, 12, 13, you can come here and you can enter the same 3 activities. I mean, these 3 activities. 3 items depicting the activity, and then add US8 as another donor, and so you see these we added actually 1 more donor to this project. So when we go to projects, we can see that this diphtheria project, it also comes under US8. You see, it's here. Or other way around, when it comes to diphtheria capacity building, it's considered in 3 places: here, here, here. Yeah, refreshing training. So it doesn't matter what is the sequence of entering projects and donors. The tool is capable to reshuffle them, reorder them, put them in different grouping. That's a benefit of dynamic tool. So it's not fixed. The content is not fixed. You're free to do it in a sequence, and then tool takes care of the rest and makes it sure that everything is counted. A final point is that in case you miss an item in drop-down lists, because here, other than the amount funding, you enter all values using drop-down list. In case you find that donor is missing, let's say we want SIDA, which is Swedish Development Agency, you go then to respective catalog, which is in case donors, add SIDA, and it's bilateral, and then come back to projects, and then you check here, and SIDA will be in the list. So that's how you update dynamically the content of drop-down lists, moving back and forward to catalog and returning back to the project. So it's quite an iterative process, and when the country finish first year exercise, then the catalogs are filled in, and next year usually few things can be is needed to be modified. The most of work then is concentrated in these 2 main tabs, projects and planning. Thank you for listening, and the next video will be about using tabs for presenting computation results. Thank you.